Hello, Libra. It's time for your monthly reading, July 2021. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've got my double decks, but I'm going to do just 3 cards for the reading, which is very hard to figure out when you're doing a general reading. When you actually are one-on-one with somebody, it's not as hard to come up with something that, seems to make sense. But you're all going to have different situations, so if this works for you, great, and if it doesn't work for you, perhaps it's not your reading, and then you won't know what it is. But we all know what's going on in our own lives. Sometimes it's something coming in a little later. You're worried about money here. This I can tell. You're a little defensive at work. Something's going on at work. Something's going on at work. Somebody's having a victory here. I'm not sure if it's you. Usually this card, I find it usually is the person that I'm reading for. But I have a feeling that somebody at work is quite the blowhard or the, bully or the person who takes credit for other people's stuff, and this person, male or female, is having some kinds of victories, and you're quite defensive about it, and you're still working hard and trying to make things happen, and because your job is kind of precarious, you're very worried about money and security and your future. That's how I'm seeing this. I'm sorry if you can hear outdoor noise, but it's kind of warm in here, so I have to keep my window open, and where I live, people are like so close to each other, so you can hear anything that goes on. So that's one scenario. Another scenario is that you are the victor. Something has happened. Perhaps you found another job. Well, that's really kind of stretching this card a bit. But perhaps you've had some sort of a victory, maybe a promotion or something like that, but there's something wrong with it. Maybe the person you're working under is not so hot, and you think something's going to happen where you might not have the job, and you're quite defensive about that. There's so many situations that could be for each of you, But money's definitely a huge concern. Maybe somebody's done something to you, or you feel that somebody has had the upper hand, and you have a health issue. You're worried about your health. And as a result, you're very defensive maybe about what this thing is that happened, or you're just defensive in general. Perhaps you have not taken fabulous care of your health. You've worked hard and you've done all kinds of very positive things, but maybe your health you haven't taken that great a care of, and now you're in a situation where something is up. It's another possibility here. Perhaps you're not actually in financial trouble, but perhaps you're feeling bereft. You're feeling kind of like you're out in the cold, like you're not being supported, like you're not getting what you need, and all your time and hard work and effort is just not going to anything good. Sometimes this kind of a setup, I don't get this exact thing that often, but sometimes it can mean something like, here you are working away, somebody else has had this victory, perhaps it's you having to pay a crazy amount of child support or something like that, and you're worried about being bankrupted over it because of the amount of money that you have, or alimony, or something where you have to pay through the nose. You're working hard, and now you're defensive about it, and you're really worried about your financial life because of it. Something of that nature. If you're wondering why my voice sounds like this, I went to see some really good friends over the long weekend, and we spent so much time shouting and having crazy banter and screaming and singing and laughing so hard my voice is kind of thrashed now, but it was totally worth it. Let's pull one more, the Empress. So something good is on the horizon, I'm going to say. This is, when I get this kind of a spread, I typically don't get something like the Empress with it. This is fertility. This is a fertility of ideas. It can be a fertility of the body, so that if what you're looking to do is have a baby, this is a wonderful card for that. But it's also communing with nature and feeling one with the universe, and that you could birth anything onto the planet, like a company. Maybe something's going very wrong and you're so defensive. Maybe you don't want clients to tell you what to do. Maybe that's why you're worried, because you can't sit there and kiss ass all day to these clients that you're working for somebody else, or you can't kiss ass with your boss, something like that, and you feel that they've got the upper hand over you and you're really worried about your finances. But when the Empress comes popping up, perhaps you have an idea to begin your own business. Perhaps you have a very, very good idea, and the Empress believes in fertility of ideas and bringing things to fruition, so maybe that's why she's appearing. So whatever it is with you, you will know, and I hope it goes amazingly for you, and that you figure it out, and that you have a great summer and a great rest of July. I hope to talk to you soon.